Hi and welcome to this lab, basic KQL query. So I'm going to show you how to run a basic query just to give you an idea so that you guys can go away and you can learn how to run queries yourself and learn to explore and experiment. So as you can see, I've logged into my Azure Sentinel Blade. I'm going to go to the top and click on logs. This is going to bring up my log blade. I'm going to click close here and I'm going to run a new query. So I'm going to look for, say, security incidents. So I'm going to come down, I've typed in SC, I'm going to select security incidents, and then I'm just going to remove this pipe, and I'm just going to say security incidents in the last 48 hours, I'm going to click run. And this is going to pipe out a lot of information for us. So we may want to actually try to make a bit more sense of this, because this can be a bit confusing for new time users. And as you can see, we can click in here and we can go through and we can get some more information about these security events, but it doesn't really help a new person as we are. So let's go ahead and add another line to our query. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to press enter. I'm going to type in the pipe sign. I'm going to type in where, and I'm going to say where, and now this time I'm going to look for time generated. So I'm just going to type in TI and say time generated. And then I'm just going to look for this greater symbol, and then I'm going to type a go, and then I'm going to type in my time, which is 48 hours. 48 hours. I'm going to go ahead and press enter, and you can still see it doesn't do too much there. So again, if I wanted to, we could go through and say, well, let's try and summarize this by classification, so at least we can get a better summary. So I'm going to go ahead and press the pipe key and type in S and select summarize. And once I've got this summarized, I'm going to summarize it by count. So I'm going to select the count, and then I'm going to go ahead and say by, because we want to summarize it by classification, so we know what type of error we're going to get. So I'm going to summarize it by classification, because we want to know everything between medium and high alerts, or false and positive alerts. I'm going to go ahead and press enter. Now I'm going to go ahead and render this by typing the render command and selecting render, and I'm going to render this as a bar chart. I'm going to go ahead and click run. Now this is going to run this query into a bar chart, and it gives us a bit more information on what we're looking at. This makes a bit more sense to us. We can also come back and we might say, well, I don't want it as a bar chart, I want to render it as a pie chart. Again, we could say render and type in P and select pie chart and click run, and we can go ahead and we can render that by our pie chart, and we can see which is our false positives within our environment. Again, this is just a basic understanding of how to run a KQL query. I mean, there's a lot more to it. There's a lot more operators, as you've seen in the PowerPoint slide, but this is just to give you a basic head start so you can go ahead and explore. Again, you can save this query if you wanted to. I could go ahead and click save, and I could save that query, and I could choose a path where I wanted to save it. I could give it a time and a date. I could save it in my log analytics workspace, in my logic apps. So there's a lot of things you can do with this. So we're not going to save this query, so I'm just going to click cancel and click OK, and then we're going to go ahead and finish the lab off. So hopefully that gives you a basic understanding of what a KQL query is and how to run a sample KQL query. I would say go ahead, practice, play, and get a bit familiar with it, and definitely it will help you in the long run. So I'd like to thank you for viewing, and I look forward to seeing you in future training labs.